Being charitable, it's been a mixed time for Hamilton at Ferrari. I see very polarizing views on the guy. Some people saying that he's finished, that he's washed up, that he's going for one last paycheck at Ferrari, and some people saying that he needs a bit more time. But I think regardless of that, it's not gone as well overall as many people had hoped coming into this season. And Hamilton has opened up on his struggles ahead of this weekend's Miami Grand Prix while racing for the Scuderia. The 7-time world champion who made the switch from Mercedes to Ferrari at the beginning of 2025 has had a somewhat frustrating start to the season overall, with the car's performance proving inconsistent across the 3 races. It's worth bearing in mind that there's only been 1 podium for the team this entire season, and that of course came at the previous round in Saudi Arabia. No, I am not counting the Chinese sprint in that. That is not a Grand Prix podium. But despite all that, Hamilton is remaining optimistic about the potential of the SF25 and is determined to unlock its full potential. He said, "There's not one particular thing," when referring to his struggles in the car. "When I joined Mercedes, the first 6 months were tough getting attuned to working with new people. Obviously, the engineers I'm working with now are used to setting up a car for a different driver and a different driving style, and I'm used to driving a car with a different driving style, so it's a combination of a bunch of different things." The British driver also shed light on the adjustments he has had to make to his driving style to suit the characteristics of this year's Ferrari. He said, "You're generally always a mixture of the two, instinctive and conscious driving, but I'm definitely working hard to adjust to this one for sure," he admitted. Looking ahead to the Miami Grand Prix, Hamilton remained cautious about this and his team, stating, "No clue, we'll do the best we can. We've not got upgrades or anything like that this weekend, but we'll continue to try and optimize the car. Obviously, Charles in the last race did a fantastic job and showed what the car can do in a race, so the goal is to try and replicate that." But it's definitely not a case that Ferrari haven't been trying to solve the problems. They've been working very hard to do so, and Hamilton confirmed this in this interview as well. He said, "We went through a lot, did some good sim running, and there were things that we had to make adjustments to. We'll see how they work this weekend." And he's also responded to the critics as well, unsurprisingly. He said, "I just don't really think about it. I try not to really focus on opinions of people that have no insight to actually what's going on, insights from individuals that have never been in my position. So yeah, I just keep my head down and try to continue to enjoy the work that I do with the people I work with," he said. And he's also spoke about the GPDA, the Grand Prix Drivers Association as well, and its relationship with the FIA, which at best is strained right now. He said, "I think ultimately the GPDA is very unified. I think ultimately we are wanting to be working closely with the FIA, and I think every one of us, all of us, want to work together and make the sport better. Of course, we faced a bit of an uphill challenge," that's an understatement, "in that communication over time. At times there just hasn't been any, but they do seem to be doing better now with that. Ultimately, we don't hold a power seat at the table, and that needs to change in my opinion. If you look at other sports that have unions, that may be something that comes into play at some stage. As I said, we don't want to control things, we just want to collaborate more and have our voices heard, because for the longest time, they were not heard. They were very, very rudely being shut out by the FIA. They just weren't responding to them. They seem to be responding more to them now, which is good, but I think he's right. There does seem to be a bit of a strange dynamic still going on between the sports governing body and the drivers themselves, because without the drivers, there's no Formula One. It's not rocket science. You need them there, so you got to keep them on side. But guys, let us know what you think about all this in the comments below. There's a full article on the F1Chronicle.com if you want to go through this entire interview. There's some bits in there I didn't go through in this video as well, such as Hamilton talking about how he's been potentially having a little bit too much Italian food while he's been over in Italy. But hey, I don't blame him. Anybody goes to Italy, you want the pizza, you want the pasta. It's just better out there. They don't do it the same here. Even in the restaurants, it's never quite the same. There's just something about it. But yeah, your thoughts about all this in the comments below, guys. Is Hamilton washed, or is he still needing just a bit more time to adjust to that car and get on the same level as Charles Leclerc on a more consistent basis? I want to hear what you have to say about this in the comments below. Like, share, comment, subscribe. As always, have a fantastic day wherever you are in the world, and let's hope for a great Grand Prix on Sunday in Miami.